If you want to make some extra cash with a fun side hustle, you are gonna love today's video. Hey there, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com. Last week I introduced to you the Cricut Venture. It's Cricut's new large format cutting machine. I'm so excited that they are sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to show you how my giant decal for my camper turned out. Plus I'm going to show you my small business idea and how you could do something similar to make a little bit of extra cash. So let's get started. The Cricut Venture is a large format smart cutting machine that can cut materials like vinyl and cardstock up to 25 inches wide and 75 feet long. In last week's video, I unboxed the machine and gave you my initial review, plus I also created my first project, a 5-foot long decal for our RV. Before I show you my next business idea, let me show you how I put this giant decal on our camper. First, I'm applying transfer tape to the entire design so that when I transfer it to the RV, everything is in the right spot. Like I mentioned in the last video, it'll take some practice to get used to using such large amounts of material. I'm applying the transfer tape from one end to the other, taking the backing off little by little and smoothing it down as I go. This kind of reminds me of applying peel and stick wallpaper. Next, I'm marking where I want this mountain decal to go on the front of our RV and carefully removing the transfer tape and applying the design. This is proving to be a lot more challenging than I thought because of the sheer size of the design. In retrospect, I honestly wish I would have sprayed some water on the RV before applying the decal like some people do when applying designs onto their vehicles. So now I'll have to do that next time when I'm working with such a large piece. Now that the decal is on, I think it looks really nice. Up close you can see a few bubbles and issues, but since this is a removable decal, I'm not too concerned at this point. I think it looks pretty good for my first oversized design, and I'm really looking forward to making more and practicing so that I can get better and better. Alright, now you might know that we've renovated 2 lake cabins and now have them as vacation rentals for the last couple of years. I'm going to share in a future video this summer how that's been going over the last little while, but our cabins have been very busy and we work really hard maintaining them and constantly communicating with our guests. One idea that I had this year as a little extra side hustle is to create Little Lake House branded merchandise to have available in our cabins for our guests to purchase. The first item I want to make is a branded hoodie, so a hooded sweatshirt, so that if our guests want to use one down by the lake or around the fire pit, they can purchase one right in one of our cabins and then enjoy it right away. I thought the Cricut Venture was the perfect machine to create these hoodies with because it's so much faster than the other machines, plus I can cut several iron-on designs at once on the extra wide material. First things first, I'm sourcing my hoodies from a Canadian company I found called blankclothing.ca. I chose a high quality cotton blend hoodie in both a green and a zippered navy blue color to match our Little Lake House branding. I purchased multiple sizes in each color so that we'd have something for every guest. Next, it's time to create my logo on Cricut Design Space. I'm using a cute retro look font called High Tide that I love, easy to read but still looks interesting, and adjusting the size of my words to make the logo look how I want it to look. Then I found this beautiful graphic in the image section in Design Space, and I'm only going to use this part with the lake, the sun, and the birds, so I'm just hiding all the rest of the elements. It's the perfect element for our Little Lake House logo. Finally, I'm attaching all of the elements together to ensure that this design cuts as one unit and making the size of my logo about 4 inches wide so that it'll fit on the front side of my hoodies. Now that my design is ready, I'm sending it to my Cricut Venture to cut on white heat transfer vinyl. I'm going to cut 10 of these on some 25-inch wide white heat transfer vinyl, so I'm adjusting the amount up here and then I'm ensuring that my design is mirrored because I'm cutting it on the reverse side of my material. Then I'm simply following the Design Space prompts and choosing the Smart Heat Transfer Vinyl material and toggling the Auto Cutoff button. Now I'm loading my white HTV into my Cricut Venture shiny side down. Then I'm pressing load and start and letting the Venture work its magic. This machine is ultra fast, super fun to watch, and it's gonna cut these designs in no time. After the machine has finished cutting, the auto cutoff blade cuts the excess material away, which is a fun feature of the Venture that I just tried. And then next I'm weeding away the excess vinyl around my designs. Now I'm warming up my Easy Press 3 and adjusting its settings so it's the perfect heat for my hoodie and my HTV. I'm using a lint roller to ensure my first hoodie is lint free and ready to go, and then I'm placing my design on the hoodie, making sure it's perfectly aligned with a ruler. I'm using my Easy Press and the recommended heat settings to fuse that material onto the hoodie, and don't forget that each type of heat transfer vinyl has its own recommended temperature and pressing time, so make sure to follow those guidelines. They're actually right in the Cricut Easy Press app. Now I'm repeating the steps for both colors and all of the sizes of my hoodies so that I have multiple pieces ready for purchase at our cabins. I thought it would be a fun idea to have a tag on each of the hoodies with a QR code that directs people to a purchase link where they can buy the hoodies on the spot. So I'm creating the QR code and then I'm uploading it into Cricut Design Space. I'm adding this image to a project in Design Space, and I also found a tag shape in the Images tab to create my tags. So I'm making this a print then cut image, which is a really neat feature that Design Space has, and I'm just toggling that right up here. Design Space is now prompting me to print the image onto cardstock on my inkjet printer first. So I'm doing that with some cardstock that I have on hand. Now that it's printed, I'm placing the design onto Cricut's new mats for the Venture machine. So these are all newly re-engineered and they're perfect for the machine. Design Space walks me through how to load the mat onto the machine, and one of the cool features of the Venture is you can press this button here and these arms pop out on the top and the bottom if you want to use these new mats with the cardstock in the Venture. So neat. The Venture is determining now where the printed guides are on my design, and it's ready to cut my tags. Now I'm attaching these tags to each of my custom hoodies so our guests can scan the code, purchase a hoodie, and wear it right away. I'm going to place these in the closets in our rentals, and I'm so excited to see what our guests think of our merch, and I think this is a really fun way to make some extra income. Creating merchandise like this is so quick and easy with the new Cricut Venture, so if you're considering starting a side hustle, selling custom clothing or custom merch of any kind, I do think that this machine is a wise investment. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of these hoodies for our little lake house rentals down in those comments below. I'd love to know. I'd also love to know if you were to make your own t-shirts or hoodies, what would you put on them? Let me know down in those comments. If you want to learn more about Cricut, what it does, and how you can make money using it, watch this video right up here.